So you've studied English for years, right? You know hundreds, maybe even thousands of words. You can read articles, you can follow along with movies, but then, the moment you need to actually speak, nothing. Your brain just freezes up. If that sounds familiar, you're in exactly the right place. We're about to break down why that happens and show you a super simple, powerful way to fix it starting today.
I mean, this is the core of it, isn't it? You can understand just fine, but speaking feels like a whole other mountain to climb. Well, I want you to know you are so not alone in this. It's a really common feeling. But the good news? It has nothing to do with how smart you are or how big your vocabulary is. It's all about a few hidden barriers that we're about to pull back the curtain on. So, let's get into the diagnosis.
You see, the problem isn't your English knowledge. Not at all. The real issue is that there are these three invisible walls standing between what's in your brain and what comes out of your mouth. Think of them like psychological roadblocks. And the best part? Once you can see them, you can start to tear them down.
Okay, wall number one. This is the big one, the wall of fear. You know the words, you got the sentence all lined up in your head, but then fear kicks in. It's the fear of making a mistake, the fear of your pronunciation being off, the fear of someone judging you. Your mind just goes blank, your heart starts pounding, and the words get stuck. This wall feels so real, but just knowing what it is, just plain old fear, is the first step to pushing right through it.
Right behind that wall of fear is its best friend, perfectionism. You know that little voice in your head? The one that's obsessing over every little grammar rule, trying to find the absolute perfect word. While you're busy building that flawless sentence in your mind, the real-life conversation has already moved on, and you're left behind in total silence. You didn't speak, not because you couldn't, but because you were waiting for perfect. And that brings us to this idea, which is a total game changer. Done is better than perfect. Just let that sink in. The whole point of language isn't to get a perfect grade on a test. It's about connection. It's about communication. When you really embrace this, you start to starve that perfectionist voice and you can finally start speaking.
Let's look at what this actually means. On the left, the perfect attempt. You're trying to say something long and complex, you get nervous, and you say nothing. Your communication score? 0. A big fat 0. Now look at the right, the done attempt. You say, today I drink coffee with friend. Now, is that grammatically perfect? Nope. But did the other person understand you? 100% yes. You just scored, let's say, 60 points. And you know what? 60 is infinitely better than 0.
So, the third and final barrier is what I like to call the swimming pool problem. Imagine you want to learn how to swim. So you read books about it, you read 10 books, you watch hours of Olympic swimming on YouTube, you memorize every single technique. But then the first time you actually get in the water, you sink. Why? Because you've learned all the theory, but you've never actually practiced the physical skill. This is all about the difference between input and output. Input is taking information in, reading, listening to stuff, watching movies. It's important for sure, but it's like reading those swimming books. Output, on the other hand, is producing the language, writing it, and you guessed it, speaking it. Speaking is getting in the water. And for most learners, this chart right here is the reality. Does this look kind of familiar? Maybe 90% of your study time is spent on input and a tiny 10% on output. You just can't learn to swim by spending 90% of your time reading next to the pool. Speaking is a physical skill. Your mouth, your tongue, your lips, they need to build muscle memory. And that comes from one thing and one thing only, output. Okay, so we've figured out the 3 walls that are holding you back. Now for the really good part, the prescription. This is your clear, practical action plan with 3 simple ways you can start breaking through these walls, like today. Here they are, your tools. First, you're going to talk to yourself. This is the safest way to just start making noise and building that bridge between your brain and your mouth. Then you find a language partner for some real but low-pressure practice. And finally, you take it into the real world, starting with tiny, tiny interactions to build massive confidence. See the pattern here? It's all about output, output, output.
And when we say start small, we mean really small. Seriously, just walking into a coffee shop and successfully saying these 3 things, "Hello, 1 coffee please, thank you." That is a monumental victory. That one little success proves to your brain, hey, I can do this. And that feeling, that confidence, is what makes you want to try something a little bigger next time.
All right, so we've diagnosed the walls, we've laid out the action plan, but I promised you one simple habit that really ties it all together. There is one technique that is more powerful than anything else when you're starting out, and it is shockingly simple. And here it is. 5. The single most powerful habit you can build is speaking to yourself. And the commitment? It's almost nothing. Just 5 minutes a day. That's it. It costs $0, there is zero pressure, and you can literally start the second this is over. Just think about it for a second. This one tiny habit is the ultimate tool. It's like a wrecking ball for those 3 walls. It completely shatters the wall of fear because who's judging you? Nobody. It defeats the enemy of perfect because it's just practice. Mistakes are the whole point. And it completely solves the swimming pool problem because it is 100% pure output. You are finally in the water, practicing every single day. So, I'm going to leave you with this one question. Not for tomorrow, not for later, for right now. What is the very first thing you are going to say out loud in English today? Describe your room. Talk about what you had for lunch. The topic couldn't matter less. All that matters is that you start. Start your 5 minutes. Start building that output habit. And finally,